Welcome back, y'all. We are just here on the farm on a Saturday, just plugging away, literally. Farmer Josh is going to be plugging the new pasture. Well, really everything is new around here, but he's going to be plugging away on what we're calling Pasture B. We do not have that fenced in yet, and it's not going to have cows touching it until the spring. So he's going to plug it. We got a really good rain yesterday, so it should be a bit softer. We have been in, a roller coaster of weather conditions all summer and fall. So we went through extreme drought to torrential flooding, Hurricane Helene, to another extreme drought, to now more rain, and it just, you either get one extreme or the other. So it's been quite difficult on the land, and since this is a new farm, our soil management here is just starting, so we are literally on day one. So there are certain parts of that pasture that are looking okay, but the soil health here is terrible. So we are going to be inputting a lot of carbon and manure from chickens and cows, and to start it off, Josh is going to plug. He's going to kind of tear it up just a little bit on the top layer, and we may sprinkle some seed, I don't know, but we're just kind of playing it by ear, and also playing it as based on how the budget goes. So I know that in this pasture, which is our sacrifice pasture for the winter, the cows are just going to tear it up. We're going to feed them hay on the ground, and we're going to see what that does come spring when they can get off of it and it can rest for a while. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. Miss Spicy Sassy Pants right here, she is constantly getting her halter off every day, and I will tighten it. I don't know, she's spicy. Aren't you, girl? So in addition to pasture management and all things cows today, we're going to be planting some garlic. We have our seed garlic. We have a couple raised beds that have been existing here when we bought the house, and so we're going to just tear that up a little bit, plant some garlic. I'll let the kids help me. They really enjoy planting garlic. So we're going to go ahead and do that and see how that brings our Saturday. Hey, bud. And then we have a market tomorrow, so we'll be prepping for that. Candles, labeling, all things beeswax. You gonna help me plant garlic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go tear some of that up and get the garlic ready to plant, and then Daddy's gonna plug the other pasture. Is that okay? Okay. So he's gonna run over to the back building to get a couple, probably bricks, landscaping rocks that we've got left over, stones, whatever you call them. and he's going to throw it on top of the plugger because it needs a little added weight to sink down into the dirt a little bit because it's been so dry. Even though we got that rain, he's going to need a lot of weight to get those tines into the soil. So this is Pasture B. This is the pasture for the spring. The girls are currently across the way in Pasture A, the sacrifice pasture for this winter, while we get this prepped and ready for spring growth. Needs a lot of work. So it's not going to really ever be perfect. It's just going to be constant maintenance of, you know, putting carbon on, carbon. You know, allowing the cows to rotate off of it, to give it rest, you know, bringing up the natural seed bank, which is kind of what Farmer Josh is doing right now. It's just going to need a ton of work. We may seed, I'm not sure, but we may just allow the natural seed bank to come up in the spring and kind of just see what we have, what are we unearthing literally, and just kind of go from there, and just let the cows and the chickens do the rest. So my 7-year-old has been wanting to drive the tractor with the plugger on. She has driven the tractor without it on, so we'll see if we can get her to do that today. Like looking in on the future 16-year-old, and I'm not okay with this because she's actually pretty good. He's just trying to guide her to make sure she's kind of doing the rows in line, but she's got the directional part down with the steering and she's not afraid. So I don't know, do farm kids just graduate from these kind of life moments sooner? Somebody help me. You can see what the plugger is doing. It pulls these literal plugs up from the ground and just lays them out. So that's about how deep it's going into the ground, so you're getting that till layer. It's just allowing for the natural seed bank to come up and be awakened and allow more aeration and movement for roots and microbes to kind of come alive again. Yeah, you can throw it.
Is it yummy?
Was it good?
Yeah. Was it good, guys? Yeah, it is.
Alright, so little farmer boy is up from his nap. Farmer Josh took a break from plugging. Our oldest has been helping him drive the tractor. She thinks that's really cool. And so we are going to plant some garlic. And when we were at the Homesteaders of America conference, I ran across a booth there that was selling seed garlic, and with moving and everything, I had lost track of our stock of garlic because we normally just save some of the best cloves for planting again in the fall, and I didn't. I actually preserved it all. So this is Farmstead Farm, and it's actually farmstead.farm is the website, FAMSTEAD.farm. And they had organic soft neck garlic for half a pound for sale. So I picked up 2 of these bags. This should be a fair amount for us to plant. We've done more, we've done less, and we just use what we preserve and put away, and that's about it. So what you're going to do with soft neck garlic is you're going to peel these heads of garlic, and soft neck is actually kind of harder to peel than hard neck garlic, unfortunately, but we plant soft neck. We live in central North Carolina, and it's just easier for us to grow the soft neck here because we don't get very cold in the winter. You can grow hardneck here, but for sake of ease and the fact that I just stick my garlic in the ground and walk away from it and don't think about it until it starts warming up, this is easiest for us. So what you're going to do is take your head and separate the cloves. And so you're going to get cloves that look like this, and this is your root end, the flat part, and then this is your sprouted end, the pointier part. Where are you going? So how you're going to plant it in the ground is with your root end, the flat part, down, and you can go through with a stick, finger, you know, I have friends that have like handmade some, I think they call them dibblers, where it's just a bunch of like different prongs on like a long handle and just stick it in the ground. I usually go up to like my first knuckle of my finger, just poke holes, and then the kids will go behind me and they will stick these into the ground. We'll cover them up, and then we will mulch over that to keep it nice and warm during the winter. You can use leaves from the yard, straw, shavings, you know, whatever you have. Are you gonna help me? You're gonna help me too? So we're just going to separate all these. There is no need to peel all of the thin paper off. Just get it to where there's just not a lot of debris left on it. And then once we're done peeling all of these, we'll get all of our garlic and we'll start planting it. So we are down by the pigs on the edge of the woods, and that's where a few existing raised beds are. These will probably not stay for the entirety of the gardening year next year, but for sake of time and ease with us just moving here and wanting to get some garlic in the ground, we're going to use one of these. Last weekend we actually went through and pulled up some of the weeds that were in there. We went through with a broad fork, and I had sprinkled what I had found from moving. We had some feather meal and I think some maybe blood meal. But you want to go see the pigs? Here. There you go. And then I had gone through and broad forked it. It rained, and so now I'll probably go through and broad fork it a little bit again, and then I will have the kids come through and just kind of poke holes, and we'll start throwing the garlic in the raised bed. got my broad fork at the Mindful Farmer. Sean does a great job with designing tools that are fit for the homestead lifestyle and for the scale of a homestead. I have a few of his tools and they're just really high quality and very easy to use. He taught me that you can take your broad fork and drag it to create rows, and that's what I'm going to do, just so that we have straight lines. That'll help guide the kids in putting the garlic in the ground. I will link this in the description below. I'll also link some of the other tools that I have from him. I've had this for 3 years now, and other than like where I grip it all the time, it really just doesn't show much sign of wear, and it has served its purpose here very well on the farm. So I just found a stick and I'm gonna let the kids just kind of poke holes with it, fingers, sticks, you name it. So let's plant. lost all my helpers. Daddy came by with a lawn tractor, and so they all decided to hitch a ride with him. But they did help me get some of the garlic in, and I went ahead and covered it up. It is under a pretty good canopy of trees right now, and I think I'm not going to cover it too much because the leaves are going to keep falling and deposit their leaves on top of it. So I'll probably just end up putting it in the back of my head that there will be some roughhousing later on that's going to get somebody in trouble and they're going to need a task to do. And so I will assign somebody to go rake some leaves and dump them on top of the garlic. I will probably, the water or the soil was pretty damp still, so I'm probably not going to water it too much. We are expecting a little bit of rain in the forecast in the next day or two anyways, and these will basically just get tucked in, and come warm weather, depending on when that comes, because here in North Carolina it can be February and we will start seeing some sprouts. I will cover them up again probably around that time, and then like April, May, when it starts really ramping up in the heat, I will have to water them a lot and keep them watered, and probably do like a foliar fertilizer spray of like a fish emulsion, just to keep the leaves nice and green until around June is when we harvest our garlic for ourselves. Yeah, so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. That really helps us get out here and create the content. And we love to show you how this farm develops over the next few weeks, months, years. I'd love to have you ride along with us.